Shalom, my name is Yehoshua Yaakov. I'm making this video from Jerusalem, and it's a comment on Barack Obama's Stand for Change rally at the MacCourt in Eugene, Oregon. Also, shalom to Ilan and Andrea, who live there. That's my wife's brother and his wife, Andrea. Shalom, Ilan and Andrea. Okay, now to Barack Obama's Stand for Change. The most important part of the articulation is we can't wait. Okay, after almost 100 videos in support of Barack Obama, I cannot wait any longer. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm the author, Yehoshua Yaakov ben Avraham. I live in Jerusalem. I'm a didactic scientist. I'm the author of Humanomics, which is a trilogy, about 2,500 pages. We published on the internet. Isn't yet, has to be approved. And it's two paradigms. One of which is the new economic paradigm. It's the win-win situation for President Obama, meaning that the campaign will be run, has to be run, on the promise to develop, deliver, and acculturate the new economic paradigm as what? As global technological infrastructure. How? President Obama on day one will seek and receive from the U.S. Congress a mandate to develop, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm model as what? As global, as nude global technological infrastructure, certain to devolve to Internet 3, as will be based on the new economic paradigm model. I'm its author. The context in which it will be developed is Humanomics. That's a much larger framework, and I'm not going to talk too much about Humanomics today. I'm going to focus like a laser on the new economic paradigm. Why? Because it's a win-win situation. Not only for the people of Oregon, but for the people of the United States. The new economic paradigm, when mandated to be developed as world-class global technological infrastructure, will retool, re-educate, and retrain the entire U.S. workforce, creating tens of millions of jobs. It will take us from a present level of GDP of 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion over 2 decades. To do that, the building of that global technological infrastructure will require an investment of roughly $5 trillion, which will be amortized over the 20-year life of the project. It's like a big Hoover Dam project. It's a supply-side project. It will make America the most competitive economy in the world. And the good news is 60% of that investment will come from the G9 as strategic partners. Having said that, after the first after the first year, it will be generating month to month tens of thousands of domestic content sustainable jobs in 4 particular areas: network services, systems integration, natural intelligence, and sustainable human development. Those are the 4 sub-major technology models that will be distributed around the 50 states, creating massive jobs. The complexity of the project is beyond this little brief video. It's not intended to convey that. The new economic paradigm is world-class international. Hold on. Please close the door, my love. The new economic paradigm is based upon international content. It has already received the equivalent of tens of millions of recognitions on the internet, tens of thousands of video views of this video blog. And my frustration is, what am I saying when I say it can't wait? I have yet to, I've sent emails. It has to be put into the articulation. It has to be in the dialogue. It has to be presented and articulated in the campaign, particularly against John McCain. And it's a win-win situation. What will it do? It'll not only take the gross domestic product. This project, the new economic paradigm and its model as new global technological infrastructure, will not only lead the American economy, making it the most competitive in the world, and lead it from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion over the next 2 decades, but it will eliminate the entire national debt. That's after having paid down the 5 trillion of investment, above and beyond the existing 9+ trillion and the existing proposals before the Congress, the ones with the highest probability of passage, and several of which even come from Obama's vision for a national health insurance. It will completely pay down in its project life the entire national deficit. It will eliminate the trade deficit. It will triple the purchasing power and value of the dollar. It will eliminate the Social Security deficit and the trade deficit. It's a win-win situation. And it will be generating in the years from 13, 14 through 20 to the end of the first phase of the project. It will be generating massive multi-trillion-dollar surpluses. And that's how the deficit will be paid down. Having said that, it's a win-win situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm asking you to do is, and particularly in Oregon, I want very, very much for you people in Oregon on the campaign stump to ask Barack Obama, what are you going to do with the new economic paradigm? How are you going to do it? I want him to be, I want him to respond. I want him to now understand that he can't wait. The imperatives, the voters have the right to be asking him to make the commitment and the promise to develop, implement, and acculturate the new economic paradigm. This is not Bob the Builder. This is not hyperbole. This is not a mere articulation. This is the result of multiple decades of basic research and the result of which has produced first principle science, which is world class. The European Union wants it. Other countries want it. Even Mr. McCain wanted it for his campaign, but I refused and I held it out for Barack Obama. But still, I have not heard a single word of in the campaign dialogic about the new economic paradigm. It identifies information as the new agent of transformation in its general model, and it integrates, develops, and acculturates through 4 sub-technology models: sustainable human development, network service, systems integration, natural intelligence. And natural intelligence is the postmodern articulation of artificial intelligence. We are now in the postmodern era, and Humanomics is the central organizing principle of the postmodern era. We've had around the globe the collapse of the local reality, and that means that for religious people, that's the end of the exile of man and mankind. But for the secular people, it means something different. It means the end of the modern era and the entry into the postmodern era. And the central organizing principle of that new model of Humanomics, which is the East-West convergence model, is receiving to give, which means what? It means receiving the authentic you, to give the authentic you to you, to your spouse, to your children, to your family, and your community. And that's why it is the cognitive behavioral first principle. And so that's what it means to the secular. It's a win-win situation. This is what is central to raising up the standard, raising the bar of the sustainable human development of the entire U.S. workforce, retooling, retraining, and re-educating to make it the most competitive and the most highly trained in the world. This is what is going to direct, lead, and deliver the transformation of the structure of the U.S. economy from 14 trillion to 45 to 50 trillion. And in that scenario, there's going to be a fundamental change in terms of energy crisis, global, the global warming crisis, the planetary crisis. That will be transformed by the new economic paradigm for reasons and based upon complexities of the model's development and application beyond this articulation. It simply means this, that to end the climate control crisis, planetary crisis, particularly in the G9, but even more particularly in America, the problem of 24/7, 365 of moving hundreds of millions of people in America and globally will be transformed, because there will not be the need to be doing that on the scale that we're doing it today. And we should be able to, in the first decade or two, have the present levels of greenhouse gas emissions. So it's a win-win situation, folks. Think Humanomics as the new East-West convergence model, as the context and framework, as we move in the nascent right now, ascent of man, from behavioral man to cognitive man, and most particularly its new economic paradigm, which will transform the structure and effectiveness and competitiveness of the American economy, bringing about full employment for all America, for American all Americans. Thank you for listening. And also, it will also provide for a full it'll pay for full national insurance. Having said that, I thank you very much for listening. I'm the author of Humanomics and its new economic paradigm, the integration of labor. Get Mr. Barack Obama, get him elected, and get him to promote it. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Yehoshua Yaakov.